We are live.
Excellent.
Hey, everybody.
Excellent.
I should probably tweet about that. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would be good.
get some tweets.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. I think, yeah, looking good. Everybody's in shot. I'm going to suggest that Peter shuffle a little to his right, just so that Perny
Yeah,
isn't trying to hide him.
correct.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, everybody. It is time once again. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. Your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist here. Welcome to another episode of the Trash Heroes, the Dungeons and Dragons live stream, where we recount the epic adventures of these wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures that we call the Trash Heroes. As always, our players are this fine collection of talented internet cartoonists. Please check out their work, links, and social media in the upper right hand corner or in the video description below on YouTube after the stream.
I forget which way to point.
So without, oh, which way to point? Yeah, I don't know. I just sort of waving my hand around. Did I point the wrong way?
I don't know.
Just checking.
Where the
Nope,
words
that's the
are.
wrong way. That way.
All
Good.
right, all right. Always point the opposite direction from what you think it is.
Mirrors. How do they work?
So let's meet the characters. First up, we have the Keeper of the Vermin, Protector of the Trash Heap, Fetid Quaggle.
That's me. Hi.
Next, we have our larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar, Ugna Sugartusks. Our trickster cleric, rogue baker, and party animal, Tromlin Darioles. The all-natural Genasi swamp druid, Glorpa. And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who is also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine. So for those who are new to the stream, we're playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Few optional rules and homebrew modifications, but I'm sure you'll have no problem following along. So with all that said, we are ready to get into the adventure. So to pick up where we left off, a brief little synopsis. Our party of intrepid heroes were undertaking a task on behalf of basically the mob because it turns out that Ugna was basically employed to throw a fight and then didn't throw the fight and thus owes a lot of money to certain people.
Sometimes you just
and
really get into the fight and you forget about the things that you got to
Happens.
do. Happens to
and so
everybody.
we met the terrifying mobster one-eyed turtle named Quorm Leatherback, who has sent you all off on this little task to head north to the town of Stormhill, where there is some sort of problem going on with the local gang, and you are being employed. I say I do the employed because you're not getting paid for it to deal with this this problem. And accompanying you is a somewhat obnoxious local Stormhill merchant named Otto Thriftwick. And Otto is supposed to be providing you with support and contacts when you arrive. So we left off at dawn on the North Downs. The sun has risen somewhat cold over the bleak, barren hilltops of the North Downs. This place has been long ago swept clean by the depredations of the dragon, the great frostworm of the north. And nestled in the valleys between these various hills are scrublands, peat bogs, and woods. And that is where our party of trash heroes was camping for the night, along with their somewhat terrified and exhausted little merchant friend after a forced march to try and cut down your trip from 3 days to 2. And so, in the interest of speed, you marched well into the night, set up your camp by the Great Ring Road were attacked in the night by a small band of ogres who were quickly dispatched, and you are now in the process of breakfasting on pancakes prepared by Tromlin. I can actually, I think, click on the map. So where we are now, after you're about halfway between Mud Hollow and Stormhill. So hopefully everyone can see the little circle that appears when I click on the map.
That's futuristic.
No.
And that is where we are going to pick up. So the first thing I want to do, something just to establish a couple things. I couldn't remember if you guys ended up bringing Tromlin's cart, pony, or mule, or whatever with you to carry your stuff, or if you're just relying on Ugna.
I believe you said it was going to be more of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
means you have
because
to
we'd be
keep track of
traveling overland and such.
Yeah, so we're all on foot.
So basically, it's not a big deal for any sort of encumbrance to travel because Ugna can easily carry everybody's stuff without any kind of encumbrance, and in fact, probably carry several members of the party as well.
I mean, I only weigh like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
so,
that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's my warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like everybody is small enough actually that I think you could all ride on Ugna pretty.
I'm the
Pretty
party's
long.
mule.
Mhm.
I'll walk.
And I wanted to start off by just establishing how worn out everybody is, simply because some of you aren't as high on the Constitution scale as others. So let's start off with some Constitution saves. I need everybody to make 2 Constitution saving throws to determine the level of exhaustion that you went to bed with, so we know how well rested you are moving.
Are we
into
just
day
doing
two.
a D20 for this?
Yeah,
Twice?
D20.
Okay.
Yeah, and then on your character sheet you should have a on the first page near the top there's a saving throws box.
I do not have anything written in my saving throw boxes.
Yeah, I don't either. I have Constitution though. Is it just the
Uh,
modifier for
You
Constitution?
should have stuff in your box.
Yeah.
I have you with a +2 for Constitution save, so
Me too.
you're rolling
Okay.
D20 and add 2.
Cool.
Who, Danielle or me?
Moi.
That was Danielle. I believe Tromlin I don't think has any bonus.
Yeah, I have just a flat 10. So
Oh.
I
Yeah, you have a 0
rolled
Constitution.
an 18 and a 21.
Okay.
So, I think I'm
So
Appropriate.
you're
fine.
actually like you're more rested after waking up early and
Oh,
fighting.
this is
some
great.
ogres.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is a good
After, like,
good
the-
morning workout.
Mhm.
This
After
is
like
adrenaline.
a 12-hour hike, you're like, I feel
Let's go.
refreshed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's great. Sleeping
Good
on the
for
ground
you.
really got those quirks and kinks out of my back. It's nice.
I rolled a 7, so plus my con mod, so that would be an 8.
Yeah, you have a +1 Constitution
Yeah.
save bonus.
So I am a tired little garbage
so
kobold.
You get 2 saves,
Oh, okay.
and we'll determine how tired you are.
That's better. 13.
I think that's good enough. I'm just quickly pulling up my what is the saving throw? What else have I got here? So I've got Ugna is totally fine.
Yeah.
And then what else did
Unsurprisingly.
we get for? Let's go for fetid here. So you had a 13 and what?
Yep. A 13 and a 7.
Okay, that 7 is almost certainly going to be a fail.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Are we telling
I
you
got
each roll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Go ahead,
I
Randy.
got an 11 and a 16.
Yeah,
Not
the save DC is 12, so it's not that bad. So I've got 1 fail from Fetid, 1 fail from Tromlin. Let's get Glorpa and Uncle Perny.
Got a 6 and a 10, and the +2. I don't know where that goes.
So the 10 becomes a 12. You're good there. The 6 is a fail.
Gotcha.
And Copernicus.
So I failed twice, but also I don't sleep.
So the resting just means that you're taking time off.
It's more like waiting, yeah.
Yeah.
Biding,
But you have a +2 con. Did you? Or
yeah,
+2
yeah. I got
save
10 and 11 with the modifier.
Ooh.
8
with
and
the
9.
modifier.
Yeah.
Okay, so what this means is that after the night's rest, everyone who gained a level of exhaustion got rid of it, except for Uncle Perny, or Funkle Perny, who has gained 2 and gotten rid of 1. So you're you're feeling some age in those bones after the forced march of yesterday. So that means that you're starting off with exhaustion moving into today.
Okay. And how will that modify my roll?
All that, the only effect that's going to have on you is giving you disadvantage on skill checks during today's march.
And you got to sound real sleepy.
Yep. Now, if you gain another level of exhaustion, which may happen towards the end of today's march, you will start losing speed, and then you might need to be getting
Carried.
a piggyback ride.
Yoda that shit.
Make
Alina
a nice
looks
little
excited
fling.
about this.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. I am getting a little bit of an echo from Danielle with the,
no! Do you want me to
earbuds.
switch the ear thing and see how it goes?
Is anybody else getting it, or is it just me?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay. Well, we should switch
Really?
then, just so it
All
doesn't
right.
get recorded for the
I'll
stream.
go to call center Danielle. One moment.
Please stand by. I was going to finish opening everybody's character sheet.
Oh, and I rolled for my god for the day too.
Oh good.
Excellent. Who you got?
Who are you worshiping?
Mask.
Excellent.
The Mask? Jim Carrey's The Mask?
Sadly, no.
Oh.
The Loner God of Thieves.
It's a work that's so good it just spread throughout the multiverse.
I mean, Mask's symbol is a mask, so why I have no problem suggesting that that the God Mask happens to be played by Jim Carrey.
I'd rather the Jim Carrey version than the comic, which was way more terrifying.
Yeah.
The comic version. The Jim Carrey movie, oh, he wears a mask, he's a funny cartoon character. The comic book, you put the mask on, you murder people.
Yeah, that's not as good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've established that, we can carry on. So we left you guys at breakfast time. And Tromlin, who has a professional chef trait, has prepared excellent pancakes for you guys to enjoy.
With no ogre in it, I guess.
No, but Fetid has hung the scraped ogre stomachs to dry in the sun.
I bet that smells great.
We're keeping it downwind, so it'll be okay.
Yep.
Even Fetid has a limit.
Yeah, like
I was gonna say, it just smells like, whatever ogres have most recently eaten, which is probably not great. And and kobold
not my
urine.
favorite
good.
stench in the world.
Good.
Yeah. But I would say that kobold urine and digested ogre food probably doesn't smell a lot worse than the rest of the party.
Fetid. Smells better on the inside.
We have firmly established that only Tromlin smells good. And that's only because of the baking. There's still like a goat musk underneath that.
Yeah.
I have to assume, like, Perny probably doesn't smell awful.
He kind of smells of death.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And hard candy.
It's not
and
not
hard candy.
just that
He smells
generic
like
person
death
smell.
and Old Spice.
It's the fish. Once you gutted enough fish, it always does this smell of.
There's going to be a
Just
fish
a little
funk
funk
there too, I think.
One day we're gonna need him to actually gut a fish, and he's like, okay, so admission time. Never
That's not
gutted
what a fish smells like.
Meanwhile, I'm like, why would you gut it? It's all food.
That's the
all of
tasty
it.
part.
Yeah.
You can eat the
out the
gut
good
separately.
bits.
You know when.
You're missing the swim bladder.
I mean, I've only ever eaten just like the heads and then the bones, like in a Looney Tunes.
Yes,
cartoon.
that's how they come out of the trash, right?
An old heat flap.
Yeah. The first time I see a whole fish, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's
Your
gonna be
heat,
wild.
your heat
There's
flip
so
has
much
a
more meat on
kobold.
this.
Yeah.
Well, I think during breakfast, Uncle Perny might approach Ugna and say, it's been a little while since I've been out in the wilds doing marching about, and I do find myself just a wee bit plum tuckered, as they say. And I was wondering if, for a portion of today's march, I might be able to get
Oh,
a
you want-
piggyback.
Yeah, you
or
would
just
want. Oh, that
wrestle
yeah.
in your arm.
Oh, whatever you want. That's some good weight training. I could lift you. Like we
That
could do
would be
curls, or you mean you could ride on my
not
shoulders?
only
That's
my
fine.
body but my spirit. Oh, thank you. And I'll regale you with some stories of misadventure of me and Barb
Oh, that'd be
back
great.
in the glory days.
I sure like hearing stories while I'm running. That's great. Oh, I can make you like a little seat
I'm-
on my pack.
Your basic or
I'm
audible
making
app.
a note that
Yeah, yeah.
is rideable for future needs.
Good.
Hmm.
How is Otto
Useful
holding
knowledge.
up after his
Oh yeah.
night terrors?
Oh yeah, that dick.
Otto
Yeah.
got lucky and made one save, so he was looking pretty exhausted last night, but he seems to be doing okay thanks to the rest.
All right.
So like many of you, he gained one level of exhaustion but got rid of it with the sleep. He definitely is looking worse for wear. Like a lot of the smug has gone after like the ogre fight and and yeah, it's just
Hopefully he respects us a little fucking more.
in the sense of like there is a very useful meat shield here to get behind in case of danger.
Yep.
That is definitely the case. That is definitely his opinion.
I will, because I'm going to be nice to him, I'll give him some of the fluffier pancakes since he's soft.
Oh.
I'm mentally cataloging all of his stuff in case he dies.
Me too, honestly.
He's got some fairly nice robes. Like he's a merchant and he looks it. So you're like you can't like actually visualize the contents of his purse and so on, but you imagine there's probably some good stuff in there.
Does he jangle a little when
I'm
he
just
walks?
thinking, Kobold will look really good in that robe.
It'll be a little long, but I figure we can like cuff it up a lot and then it'll look really good.
Get you his
Make a
fancy
Or you
hat.
have your rats carry the train.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Oh, that'd be
Well, I guess
so
it's
good.
gonna be like yeah,
That's
it's gonna
a
be
look.
right behind.
Oh man.
So
I can
as
have
you
royalty of the
bugs in
Quaggles.
this thing.
as you all breakfast, do you have any questions for Otto or anything you wish to discuss before you begin another forced march to try and get the rest of the way?
First thing I'll do is go ahead, sorry, Peter.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting his take on because right now what we're going to investigate is two rival gangs that are kind of butting heads. I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
getting his
rival factions of one gang, basically.
okay, factions of one gang. And so if I remember, Shaylin Tark is the upstart leader, but I kind of like his take on like who's at fault, who's the aggressor, is it mutual? I'm just curious to know what he thinks, or is it just it's all bad for business, so he doesn't like any of it?
So he'll tell you first of all, like you get as soon as you start talking about the gangs, there's the bit of that disdain comes back. Obviously, he's not particularly thrilled about this side of the guild activities, and it's kind of hard to blame him, right? Because he's clearly a merchant, and this is the thieves guild extorting merchants to pay protection money to avoid having their shipments
That's fair.
ransacked on the Great Road. But so he doesn't. So you get the impression he thinks they're all scum because these are basically professional bandits. And as a merchant, he doesn't particularly appreciate banditry. But he's always participated in the system. He pays his protection money, his cut to the guild, and therefore supposed to be getting what he paid for. This protection money not just includes the bandits don't rob your stuff, but the bandits keep it's like having good bacteria and bad bacteria, right? The bandits keep other raiders and stuff away. So he's not happy about the fact that when the merchants are paying their protection money, now stuff is getting robbed anyway. So he's clearly going to side with the old school gang versus the new faction. He doesn't really know anything about this Shaylin Tark, this new faction leader, but he does know that this new faction are kind of like crazy. They're basically like they're zealots. They're sort of getting kind of the idea that they should be running things. So they're clearly sort of like breaking to a certain degree with the guild. It's obvious from the talking to that you got from Quorm that the guild doesn't really care who runs this gang, and if the end result is that you basically side with the newbies to replace the old guard, they don't care as long as things calm down. Otto is of the opinion that the only way to calm things down is going to be to get rid of the newbies. You're not sure to what degree that's because he doesn't like change, and to what degree that's because he's right. But his feeling is that the newbies are a little too like power drunk and a little bit too we like this is he blames the new faction basically for the rules being broken, because all of this is breaking the law, obviously. But the guild's position is basically that the fighting needs to stop before the king sends in forces to sort of like clean the whole place up, because if they wipe out all the bandits, then there's no further profit for the guild in terms of protection money. So yeah, Otto's got a little bit of a different opinion simply because he is one of the local merchants, but he's kind of doing what his guild masters are telling him to do. So he knows Shagrat, the hobgoblin who has been running the gang for a long time. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like the bandits at all. But it's like a devil situation. He's like, for years things worked a certain way, and Shagrat was in charge. So from Otto's perspective, he'll say, it's clear to me that what needs to happen, the Shagrat needs assistance putting down these upstarts. And then things can go back to the way it was.
Things to them.
I'm sorry?
Saying mean things to them, putting them down. I think we understand each other.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sort of look at the rest of you and realize that maybe that's not what you're all thinking.
Yeah. I will ask Otto. Have any gone, aside from breaking the agreement, have they done anything such as started like murders, assaults?
There have been some killings, but it's within this gang, the Stormhill mob, they call them locally. But it's just, it hasn't greatly affected business directly. There hasn't been a lot of increased raids and so forth, other than a few mistakes where someone who's paid protection money has had something stolen. But the problem is that there's pitched battles have happened, and there have been killings, and that's going to attract the attention of the King's Guard. They can't let things get too lawless, or there will be an uprising of some sort.
Is there anything of great importance that you have lost? Like, I don't know what business you work. I'll be honest.
Well, personally, it's bad for business in the sense that these fights, these conflicts between the factions, it makes people frightened to travel the road. It's simply been bad for business generally.
And I'm sure it costs you
less
more to
movement
have
of goods. Precisely. it costs more to hire mercenaries and guards to protect caravans. There's less goods being moved. The cost of goods has gone up. It's just generally been bad for business, which is why the Merchants Guild in Stormhill nominated me to come to the Benrick to set this up.
Hopefully, prove to you less. We have some competence. Let us, I guess, break down and head forth because we're only losing daylight at this point.
Oh yeah, I'll wrap up whatever pancakes are left and then bring them for the road.
I frantically start shoveling pancakes down my throat. It's like seeing a snake swallowing an egg. Just impressive the degree to which I can distend my jaw to fit pancakes.
No chewing. It's just
Which is basically how I eat pancakes in real life. Too, so it's not that far off.
Actually, before we head out, does anyone need any type of healing?
Oh, I think I blood magicked myself. Not that. I mean, I think that I had a naturally occurring injury for 5 points of damage last. That I wouldn't mind.
You should be good by now because that was before the rest was
Yeah,
concluded.
you get a long rest.
You'll have that back.
I will check Otto to make sure he's okay because I know this is not a lifestyle he's used to.
Yeah, no one
If he
took any
consents.
damage for which I would give a lingering condition, so everyone's pretty good.
Cool.
All right,
Glorpa heard that it's okay to ride Ugna, so without asking, she immediately climbs up Ugna and sits on her left shoulder.
Also, there's a moment of like, oh, whoa, what's, oh, yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
She
Gotta
pets her
rebalance
head.
a little bit.
I'll take the right.
One last thing before we head out.
I'll just
I
pick
will
you up,
actually-
yep.
I will pull Otto aside and say, "Am I incorrect in thinking you don't do a lot of on foot travel?" Correct.
I travel usually. If I'm traveling, usually it's with goods, so wagons. That sort of
Is it
thing.
okay if we I will in character give him some tips on, hey, here's a great way to march so you don't exhaust yourself as much.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't think he probably doesn't have too low of a constitution. He's not like too soft. Like he's a local merchant in like a small.
But it's still
town,
though it's
so
a
he's not
lifestyle
too
he's not
soft.
used to, whereas
Yeah,
Ugna
for
and I
sure.
have done this
You
many
check
times.
his footwear, and you're like, yeah, okay, this will do. Yeah.
All right. I apologize. I'm not trying to belittle you. I just want to make sure that you're prepared, and I want this to be. It's not going to be a pleasant, but it can be more pleasant.
And I will point out as well that you definitely want to press on similarly today.
Mm-hmm.
And then a giant bird attacks.
Oh no, party wipe.
But only
Only me.
If any one of us could handle a giant bird attack at this point.
That's fair.
All right.
But I was just going to say, because again, if we can switch back to the map temporarily.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alina. And Meg.
That's Pippin.
Oh, is that Pippin?
Yeah.
You don't recognize the butt? Come on.
He's very interested in the camera.
I just saw open beak going, I would like to the camera.
I thought it was a
eat
butt.
the camera.
Are we switched?
Yep, we're on the map now.
I'm not seeing it, but it's probably just a delay.
There's a delay.
That's fine. But I'm just going to point out, you guys were about here at this bend in the road, or not quite at that bend in the road. Just a little ways ahead, or a fair ways ahead, is this crossing of the Stormbrook. And since several of you have traveled a bit in this region, I just realized, do I need to like move where people's indicators are so that they don't show up on the screen? Here.
Nope, they're not. They're all cut off. So.
Okay. Cool.
You're good.
We deliberately resized the map so that it fits better. Cool. So those of you who've traveled a fair bit locally, which is a number of you, will know that the Stormbrook cuts a deep gorge through the hills on its way down, and there is a bridge over that gorge. It's not a very complicated bridge because it's a relatively narrow point. The gorge is very, very tall, but not very wide. And so basically a pair of large trees have been cut down and attached together with like heavy planks and then just dropped across the gap. So there's no railing. It's just a flat platform that you can take wagons over one at a time and march over. And so ideally you want to get there before dark because if you do not, you'll be crossing over this pretty precarious bridge in relative total darkness. It's near the new moon at this point. It's not very bright at night. So your goal here is to do another forced march and get all the way to Stormhill today.
Gotcha.
Okay? Worst case scenario, if everybody starts getting exhausted and you can't make it, at least you want to get over the bridge and then camp somewhere after the bridge before you get to Stormhill.
All right. We also want to be able to inspect the bridge in case it's being set up to be raided.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad
It's a good
idea.
spot
you
for
zoomed in.
ambushes.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the
Cool.
closer we get to where we're going, we need to be more prepared for ambushes.
Mm-hmm. So you begin your march. You're heading mostly northwards now, along the edge of the North Downs. Where the road is, it's relatively wide open. It's deliberately been cleared near the road to make sure that there aren't lots of hidey places for bandits. And in fact, you can see the steel gray expanse of Evermere, of the sea, towards the southwest. You're basically high enough on the land that you can actually just look down to the sea a few miles, maybe 10 miles away. So as you trudge through the dreary hills, getting a little higher and higher, with that steel gray sea churning far below and a few miles to the south, you're moving through these barren lands, and at one point in the mid-morning, you hear this distant, terrible hunting scream, like some kind of enormous bird shriek, fairly far off and high up. You don't need, nobody needs to make any perception rolls for this. When you look in the direction of the screaming, you see the outline of a pair of white dragons flying across the northern sky eastward. And these are likely to be spawn of Kalugnir, the great frostworm of the north. And one of them, as you're watching and you hear this shriek, has banked away from the other and is flying lower and also southward directly towards you.
Oh.
Let's move into the trees.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Oh, hey, dragons. Cool.
If we can avoid having to fight a dragon, especially one whose parent we know the name of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, the
I'm-
frostworm of the north is well known for basically being the cause of the icy wastes that you can see on the map.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And has various spawn. So there's no direct cover near the road, but it's not too far off the road. You can get to the point where there are breaks between hills, and you can find one of these gullies of scrub that you can potentially hide in.
I'm like
Yeah,
setting
that-
off at a
do
trot, and if anyone is falling behind, I'm just gonna like pick them up by the scruff of the neck. Double time.
Nice.
I'm going to do my best to see which of these gullies would be good for hiding, but also won't trap us in case we have to get out. Trying to avoid a dead end.
You have a ranger with you and a
Yeah.
druid. Fetid, you're actually faster than everybody else, so you can kind of scamper.
Yeah, I want to run ahead. I've got all kinds of skills in this regard, so I think I should be able to just kind of run up and pick a relatively safe hidey hole among these thickets.
For certain. Does anyone want to use any magic?
Are we
in
all
this
like kind of
process?
within the same area, all hiding in the same kind of trench, or?
I
Oh,
assume
you
so.
know what? Maybe I should do pass without trace here.
Ooh, yeah.
That works for you.
If that would help us or not.
That
I was
gives
gonna-
everybody in the group a bonus to stealth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
let's do that. That seems like it might be helpful at this point.
Nice.
It also covers any tracks that you're leaving behind,
Mhm.
so that
All
they
right,
don't
yeah,
exist.
I definitely
cool.
wanna do that. All right.
How realistic would it be for Glorpa to make a big fog cloud above us? Or would that
It's
be
pretty,
all around us?
yeah, it's pretty clear right now, so that would probably attract more attention than it
Oh,
would
that's a good point.
get rid of.
Mhm.
How, her intelligence is too high for me to play her.
Out of curiosity, what's the chance that fight a dragon is in my list of adventures still to finish? Just
Oh no.
anything involving dragon.
Oh no.
And bear in mind that your
I'm-
answer will 100% have.
I'm trying
you
to
know,
decide
effect.
whether you've already, or you. It seems like something you might have already done.
I really hope one of us has a good persuasion skill so we can try and talk Perny out of this.
I'm going to randomize. It's definitely on the list somewhere. The question is it something that's already checked off or not? So I'm going to randomize for that. It has not been checked off yet.
God damn it.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna wait until we're undercover to start. So I'm gonna. For now, I'm not doing anything, but that's just, this is important for me to know.
Yep. Nope, that's definitely on there.
Okay. So I'm gonna go along with the let's all hide plan for now.
For now.
It actually doesn't say defeat a dragon on the list. I'm just gonna privately message you and tell you what it says. But
Oh, good.
Seduce a dragon.
Uh-huh. Lose 1d3 party members to dragon.
I'm here for this romance.
and
I rolled a 1d3
I would
and it
like
was
some.
2.
I would like some stealth rolls from the rest of the party,
Okay.
as everybody, well, from the whole party, as you all attempt to hide yourselves well from the coming dragon.
18 for Ugna.
21.
Nice.
17. I love that I rolled low and I still get
Is
a
that-
17.
And is that without the bonus from?
Yeah,
That
this
was
is
with-
without
That
the
is-
bonus.
Without
That is
trace?
without the bonus.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no, use your own bonus, but then I'm going to add 10 on top of that
Yeah.
for pass without trace.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So 18
Okay,
for
cool,
Ugna,
then.
or 28.
So you're at 28.
Yeah.
Fetid is at 27.
Mhm.
I'm at
What was
31.
Glorpa's?
Nice.
So 31 for Glorpa.
You're
You literally
invisible.
just like melt into the ground.
I'm just a
Actually,
boss
I
of
was
the
going to
shrub.
say Glorpa can actually, if there's
True.
at least a puddle somewhere
Mhm.
in this gully, and there would be,
Be the puddle.
Glorpa can actually just merge with the puddle.
I'm gonna do that. I
Gone.
haven't got to do that yet.
I'm just imagining you entering some sort of complicated yoga pose and slowly sinking into the puddle.
So
Or
Legs
either that,
just
or it's like a
split
cartoon.
grossly.
It's a cartoon dive, basically.
Mhm. Oh
Where
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a puddle, but it's just
Mhm.
like dive and disappear. And if someone else
Yep.
dives, they'll be like lying
Good.
on their
Bonk.
face
Yep.
with their legs sticking up.
I
Yep.
think my eyeballs are still there, just kind of floating around.
Good.
Like Kermit the Frog at the top of his head.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So I rolled a
What-
22, but exhaustion gives me disadvantage, right?
Oh
That is
no.
Yes. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh
One
no.
more shot.
Oh, Purdy.
16. Darn it.
Okay, we're good.
That's good.
Still
Is that the
ahead.
dice? Is that the dice roll, or is that with your bonus?
That's with the bonus.
With
Oh,
your bonus, but not the plus 10.
Not with
So
the plus
that'll
10,
be-
yeah.
26.
So 26 total. That's the
Okay.
low for the group right now. And what do we got for Tromlin?
With my bonus of 20.
So 30 total. So with the pass without trace, the lowest we have is a 26, which sounds great, but of course this is contested, so I have to roll the perception of the dragon to see if anyone is actually spotted.
maybe it's like a T-Rex and has bad vision.
Yeah, just nobody moved.
Maybe it's an aerial hunter.
Yeah, so probably.
Seems unlikely. T-Rexes would have better vision if they could fly.
Mm.
That's what we've learned today.
And bigger arms, probably too.
Hmm
Just flapping with these
roll.
little tiny wingies.
Hmm
I have rolled fairly good. Let's see. Just double checking the
Did you see
the
that
number.
thing where some paleontologist did like a calculation of T-Rex's average walking speed, and it was
Oh, yeah.
basically human speed? And there was a little gif of a T-Rex plodding along at like 3 miles an hour, and I was like, oh, I want a pet T-Rex now. It's a terrible idea, but I want one.
Well, if dinosaurs made it this far, realistically, it would have been the carnivores that domesticated.
Like this
It's
one?
the herbivores you don't want to fuck with.
Look at this dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
I got dinosaur on demand.
Vicious.
Terrifying.
Vicious beast.
Herbivores are dickheads. You
Oh
don't want
god,
to mess
yeah.
around.
No, they'll mess you up.
A deer will fuck your world up.
And they scare so easy.
And moose will end your whole bloodline.
Oh,
yeah.
You can.
Moose is probably top 3 list of animals that I could encounter in the wild here and don't want to.
Oh yes, I have a story about friends who I used to live in northern Saskatchewan, and so friends would take jobs where they just get driven out into the woods to gather firewood to be sold. And a friend of mine has a story about being on one of these tracks, because like in the woods, it's just like a pair of wheel ruts that people drive on, and being stopped for hours because a moose decided to just plant itself on the trail in front of them. And the guy who had hired them had his truck totaled because he got impatient and started honking at the moose.
Oh yeah,
that's a bad idea.
Worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
And it basically put its head down and destroyed the front end of his truck.
Mm-hmm.
He's lucky that's all that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Have I ever shared the video of you guys of a Great Pyrenees harassing a moose in Alaska?
Oh my god.
That's very cute.
Some family was out camping with their dog, and there was
Alaska,
a moose
everybody.
swimming across the river, and the dog saw the moose and was like, I'm gonna fight that. And it's pretty great. I'll see if I can find the link, and I'll post it in the chat.
Post it in the chat.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody. So the dragon continues flying in your general direction. And as it passes not quite directly overhead, like a little off to one side, it clearly notices something because it deviates right over your little gully, but it doesn't stop. And it continues off towards the south, down towards the water line, and then, satisfied with whatever little deviation it just made, it banks back towards the east and starts flying on a interception course back with the other dragon.
It killed those 2 ogre kids that got.
Oh no!
They were my biggest fans.
You didn't see it. You didn't see it stoop down to ground level, so you're not sure what it was doing. But it lets out another hunting scream, and then flies back in the general direction of its companion.
I feel like I might need to resist the gesh here.
Yeah.
I really want to.
Gotta fight this dragon.
Find out. All right. So what am I rolling here? Probably a will save. A wisdom save.
Yep.
I'm looking over at Perny like, what is he doing?
Yeah, so probably for now,
Wow.
so I rolled an 18. Perny is looking up at this dragon, and he's salivating a little bit, and his eyes have gone shiny and misty. And he's kind of like mumbling to himself.
Granddad, please don't. I just whisper, Granddad, please don't.
I cast a spell and everything. I used a spell slot.
Okay.
Granddad, we'll find another dragon to murder, okay?
18. Does an 18 resist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it though. I kind of want to pet one. They're pretty great, but like, maybe not today.
I mean, the hide would fetch us a pretty good market value. Don't get me wrong, but
I think Perny wants to pet the inside of it in a food way.
The wet parts.
Yeah.
Perny does nothing. He behaves himself.
I think my grandfather is a type of vampire.
And I will point out, just because I just realized you'll all be able to tell, that the low roll actually was auto
Oh,
rolled okay because you have a +10,
right.
but not as good as the rest of you.
I'm not
no.
going to give Otto shit for that because it's a dragon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely
True.
like launched himself into the bushes and like is cowering with his hands over his head, but he's just not as good at stealth
With
as
all
the
his
rest of you. He
flashy
basically doesn't
clothes.
have a stealth bonus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The merchant doesn't know how to hide from a
Yeah.
big dragon.
I
Shiny
only rolled.
shoes glistening.
Yeah, I only rolled a 12, but that's still a 22 with your bonuses. But the dragon beat that. But clearly decided that like one little cowering scrawny merchant wasn't worth it.
Whew, it's a good thing he didn't
I
spot
will
me.
walk
I'm a meal.
over to-
I'm a snack.
Yeah. I walk over to Otto, extend a hand, and say, well, I admire your clothing. We might want to consider less flashy.
I'll take
he's
it.
He's
Give
basically
it to me.
wearing
I'll make it less flashy.
like blue silk robes. Like it's not particularly.
But
Like,
blue's going to
like-
stand out on the
Yeah.
road.
I can turn those brown in like 5 seconds.
Gorpa's already got mud in her hand. She's ready.
Mhm.
Yeah, he will put on like he has like a heavier black travel cloak that he was like wearing at night for sleeping, and he'll put it on over the robe.
Yeah.
At your advice.
Yeah.
That's an alternative, sure.
Yes, a good idea. A good
Mhm,
idea.
I guess.
And actually, in the future, if you ever need to avoid any tracks by scent, clothes lined with charcoal.
Do you think it could smell us?
It's a dragon. It can probably do whatever the hell it wants.
He's
But the,
pretty pale. It really stands out because he's got the black beard.
Otto, I know you're upset, but remember one thing: you survived a dragon. That is a
comforting.
story. That is a story you have to tell people.
I hope I never, ever, ever get to tell that story again.
That's fine, but you now have something that in years to come, around fires, talking to other vendors, you'll have the tale of how you met a dragon. And hey, they don't know that you didn't fight it off.
You should mention the really cool kobold who casted a spell that made it a lot easier to avoid the dragon. Though that would be cool.
This is an exciting story.
Mhm.
I'm basically just trying to give him something, calm him down, and something he can use in the future.
So as everybody comes back out of the various hiding places, you've got everyone here but Glorpa. Everybody was sort of coming out of the bushes, but no Glorpa.
I'm like looking on my shoulders. I'm like, I lost one. Glorpa? Glorpa? I like look under me.
Puddles.
Yeah, everybody
My
check
eyes.
the bottom of your shoes.
I'm assuming I'm still in the puddle, yes. This isn't
Yep.
something surprising. Okay, good. My eyelash is bat. You might mistake them for, I don't know, dragonflies or something.
I'll say that if you're drawing attention, you sort of like see part of Glorpa's face is sticking out of this like very shallow puddle.
Lorba,
Oh,
I think we're ready
no.
to go.
I did twitch her. Oh, are you okay?
Never felt better.
Oh, okay, good.
I guess I get out. I crawl directly back onto her and leave a snail trail of mud on her back.
Wow.
Good.
Nice.
It's no different than before, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
just wetter.
Slightly more
I-
damp.
Mhm.
As soon as
Well,
Glorpa's out of the puddle, you can literally see the bottom of it. It's just basically
Mhm.
a little splattering of mud puddle.
I pull up my hip flask and offer Otto a swig.
He like just wordlessly takes like shaking hand takes it and then just like and bang hands it back to you like easily a double.
You did good, Otto. You did better than most people would.
Mhm. He didn't even poop himself. That's pretty good.
Yeah, most people would be in their own feces at this point.
Mhm.
or at least Pete.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just
So-
a bit.
Mhm.
As you're having this conversation, I would like a perception roll from everybody. Everybody has a chance to notice this.
What's my perception modifier? I don't think I wrote that down.
Yep, I got it here. Alina,
That's
can you actually switch the map back to the regular?
That's a 10 for
Just making
Ugna.
sure everybody can still see the character stuff. Perception modifier for Tromlin is a 7.
Okay. Ooh,
Tromlin's
Oh.
quite good at this.
ain't bad.
I rolled a 17, so I have a 24.
That is excellent.
With
Um,
disadvantage and modifiers, I have a 6.
What was that? Sorry? Say again?
But with disadvantage and modifiers, I have a 6.
Oh, man.
Oof.
I have a
Sorry.
14 with a modifier.
Meg does not like your headphones.
No, she really
I think
hates
the
them.
bronze dragon landed on Uta.
There's a tiny dragon
It's small,
following Ugna around.
very small.
Yeah, that's it.
So I've got, I heard rolls from Copernicus, Glorpa, and Fetid. I
Mhm.
missed Tromlin,
23.
23, and Ugna.
10.
Okay. So the only people who notice this, so everybody's kind of was paying some attention to the dragon as it flies off. But the two of you who are, I will say, definitely Fetid. I'll maybe make a roll here for just how distracted Tromlin is with his conversation with Otto. Oh no, you're fine.
Hi, Velma.
So both Tromlin and Fetid notice some flashes of light. So where the dragon sort of was banking towards the south, and then careened off back towards the north to join with the other dragon. There's like some flashes of light, almost like magic spells going off, like magical fireworks.
Yourself?
Hey,
Another dinosaur.
Hey,
hello,
Oh.
a sleepy dinosaur.
dinosaurs.
This dinosaur missed her nap.
Oh,
Oh no.
I took mine today. It was a good move.
I just slept in real good.
Got some good bedhead though, despite not being in bed, I
Yeah.
guess.
Anyway,
So-
flashes of light.
But yes, flashes of light coming from the ground, sort of up towards the dragon, and you almost wonder if whatever that is either A, what got the dragon's attention, or B, what sort of made it go and fly away again, or
Hmm,
both.
Interesting.
I don't know if it might be a spellcaster, or do storm giants shoot electricity?
Yeah, but it's not really stormy enough for there to be storm giants out here on the hills.
And
Also,
that's just,
whatever you would imagine, that was back up the road, back the way you came.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, so that's like back kind of towards civilization one.
Yep.
So we
Interesting.
might be being followed.
Hmm.
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay, then we definitely need to get to the bridge as fast as we can.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Double time.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I sling
Corpus
the
slaps Ugna.
One thing that I want to point out while we're traveling is that due to my natural explorer features, we can ignore difficult terrain during travel. We can't get lost unless we are magicked into being lost.
Nice.
very nice.
And yeah,
Always bring a
Rain dirt.
reindeer.
so traveling will be a little bit easier for us than it might otherwise be.
Yeah, I've been keeping track. Because you guys are taking the road, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Basically, if you guys were cutting across country, you would not lose a lot of your speed, which is the
Good
nice
to
thing
know.
about traveling with a ranger.
Yeah,
Even a gross one like me.
especially a
So I
gross
already
one.
had you guys. Yeah, I already had you guys down as traveling at basically fast speed, because you were trying to make good time. So you basically resume your quick pace,
Hmm.
and a short time later, you've basically not forgotten, but no longer seeing any imminent danger. Bye.
She's narrating for us and Davey.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Perfect.
Her miniature DM.
Okay. speaking of storm giants, a storm giant child comes out of the clouds and
I
starts.
really don't want to fight any children if we don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Fighting,
mostly
just-
because toddlers don't hold back.
Yeah.
narrating the adventure.
No concept of mercy.
No.
She broke one of my teeth. All
Oh
right.
no.
Mhm.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Oh, it's funnier now.
Is a primary source of injury in parents is children headbutting.
Mm-hmm.
She can do drop kicks.
Oh, good.
Woohoo.
Cool.
Training her for combat.
Preparing for
Is she
professional wrestling career.
available for mission? Because
She can suplex other toddlers too.
That is an important skill to develop early in life. Yeah, you basically are able to travel along the road without incident until you reach the height of the day and are looking for some sort of meal break.
Oh, guys, I could keep running, but I'm real hungry. Whoever
I
pulls
can-
one of
One
those
of
rations.
the pancakes she had in her tits, actually, it was filled with frogs, and she puts it right next to Ugna's mouth, assuming that it's going to go in.
I think I've still got some in my gizzard as well, so I can try and cough
Oh,
some.
God.
Or
In your
hear
crop.
me out.
I think I have
Hear
a
me out.
crop. I'm not sure. Do kobolds have crops? Maybe.
They're
I mean, I
lizards.
eat rocks,
have a
so
gizzard.
I must be eating them for some reason.
I
I like-
open my pack and pull out some of the prepared meal rations I brought for the road. Like, or you
Oh.
can eat some meat.
Yeah. I've already like slurped down the pancake, and then I'm like, and I spit out a frog.
Yeah, it's like
I
a
eat the
burrito
frog.
of live frog.
Yeah, good.
My frog now.
Pick another one out of
You
my
actually
teeth,
like-
Frog steaming.
throw it
like
on
do
the
a-
ground.
A reptile tongue grab before it hits the ground.
Mhm.
Good.
Mhm.
And then I will also accept some meat.
Are you
Just,
pausing for a lunch rest here?
Do we need to rest? Is the question.
Yeah, I feel like if we don't really need
We should
to,
keep
we're probably
moving.
better off eating on the hoof.
I would say we'd be the point of making another exhaustion check if that is the case.
We might need to take a break then. Let's take a very
Okay.
fast break. I'll hand out foodstuffs and water.
Cool.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna slip Ugna my
Sorry.
share of whatever food it is, and say it's a thank you for carrying me so far.
Oh,
And how am I doing on working off my exhaustion by doing no work whatsoever and riding Ugna in a way that's
The
Probably not-
only way to get rid of exhaustion is with long rest. But basically, if you're not actually doing the marching, I'll basically count it. So I mean, either way, if you're not gaining more exhaustion, you're going to be fine by the next night.
Okay.
Either way here, so
Sorry, guys.
it's okay.
it's cute.
It's all good. Commentary.
So yeah, we
Mhm.
get fed and
The
watered.
sounds of the forest, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the sound of the strange calls of birds
Mhm.
out here on the downs.
Mhm.
Toddler finches.
Toddler sturges.
Mhm.
Oh.
They're basically they have sharp beaks and they drink blood, but they're toddlers instead of birds.
And so their beaks are covered in jelly.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. It's just real
If
sticky.
Lara's here, I'm going to try to beat him to drawing that, but I hope he draws one.
Well, we'll see. There are characters coming up, so we may have
Oh, good.
other inspirations for
Mhm.
Lar. We'll see what he
I'm
feels
gonna
up
release
to.
this. I'm gonna release this toddler back into the house. Hold on.
Back into the wild.
Let's go.
Back into the wild from whence it came.
Be free.
Come on, let's go find.
So as you're enjoying your rations, I would like everyone to make another perception check.
Not as good this time.
11. One better than last time. Ugna is way too involved in her meal.
Your eyes open just a tiny bit wider.
Yep.
Got a 19 with the modifier.
I can hear Meg pecking at your headphones. Best.
Donk, donk, donk.
She
15
hates
here.
headphones.
Meg's in nesting mode, and for some reason, whenever Meg's in nesting mode, headphones
The
are
rest of the
bad.
time,
The
they're
rest of the
fine.
time,
She
they're fine.
ignores them. But if she's nesty, she thinks they're a rival or something. I don't know.
It's a thing on your head that is not her, therefore it
Mm.
must
Yeah,
be
it must
defeated.
die.
Fair.
But it's not just Alina either, because she goes after like my headphones, any headphones.
Headphones are just lying on the shelf. They're evil.
Yeah, like if you can literally get her out from under things by just showing her the headphones, and then she'll be like, "Rah, headphones, grr, attack!"
Anyway,
Like that.
the toddler Sturge is
Get 'em.
gone.
Get them.
Rawr.
Okay, so we're rolling perception rolls. What do we got?
11.
15
Glorpa,
from me.
11. What was that for Jeff?
15.
15 for Fetid.
I did not
Nice.
roll well.
19 for Glorpa.
Ooh, good one for Glorpa.
7 for Perny, assuming I've still got the disadvantage.
Yep, you do for now.
19 as well.
And a 19.
Nice.
So I penalized you on the last one because of your traveling at full speed actually gives you a penalty to noticing stuff during your travels. Although I didn't give you the full penalty because it's a freaking dragon in the air.
Yeah.
But this time, this is during your rest. So Tromlin and Glorpa, you both notice that as you travel further north, there are more ravens around. And there's one raven perched in a tree a ways away that's kind of been circling. And this is going to be more relevant to Glorpa, I think, as a druid, because you're going to be notice that the behavior of this raven is not normal. But both of you notice that the raven has red eyes instead of the usual black eyes.
Cool.
My brain goes to familiar.
Not like
Familiar
glowing eyes or magic or anything like that, but like red eyes. I don't know if you've ever seen like a Lutino bird, like Lutino parrots that have they've like they're more they're usually yellow. They're not like albinos, but they have red eyes. Like they don't have the black pigment in the eye.
Yeah,
Reminder
like,
that I can speak with animals.
True.
Yep.
But also I have not noticed this bird.
Yeah, it's also not super close by. It was circling, so it was like a ways off.
Do I have yell at animals? I do have yell.
But that's just something you notice as you guys are enjoying your meal. There is a red-eyed raven hanging out in a tree. It doesn't stay there for too long. It'll fly off after a little while. Eventually, you complete your meal. You don't take too long because you're trying to make good time. And prepare to carry on your way. And as you do so, you hear a shout from back up the road, the way you came, just like a ho, like a shout of someone trying to get your attention.
Look
Glorpa
around.
says yes. She's trying.
And I'll just keep the same perception rolls. Those of you who rolled particularly well can see there's someone coming up the road. You can all see kind of like shapes back down the road the way you've come from sort of further down. But Glorpa and Tromlin, you can actually make out a wagon and a number of people on foot are moving with this wagon. And there is a large sort of imposing figure waving an arm at the head of this group.
Does it look like a hobgoblin perchance?
No, your first guess is that this is a merchant caravan of some kind coming up the road.
I looked to Otto and pointed them out to him. It's like, are you familiar with this band? Or
He'll sort of he's very nervous these days, but he'll kind of like shade his eyes and say, "I don't know that Loxodon, but he's dressed like a Felician."
Very well. Then let us wait for him to catch up. We're on this mission. We should make sure that any merchants coming to and from, at least somewhat protected.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe he's heard some stuff too. We could chat with him.
Yep.
True.
Yep, it will not hurt.
Okay. Everyone's okay with that then? You'll wait for a few moments for them to draw closer.
Yeah.
They're moving quite rapidly. There's a pair of horses drawing the cart rather than an oxen, and they're actually moving along at a bit of a trot. And those on foot are actually kind of like they're clearly doing a bit of a forced march. And you are, quickly wondering, or at least it seems pretty likely that these people were far enough back up the road that they were around where the dragon was kind of aiming at the time that you saw it.
They were the target.
And you
yeah.
notice, in fact, as they draw closer, because you can't help but notice, first of all, everybody in this group are like animal people. There's no overly, I was going to say humanoid, but I know the term in D&D for humanoid is all of them. But there is a loxodon in some very glorious, bright red and yellow silk robes. He has bands of gold on his tusks in like various rows, and he has some jewelry, some chains and rings in the edges of his ears. Obviously, a merchant. And with him are a bunch of porters, soldiers. You see amongst them are leonins, so the big burly tabaxi that have full manes, or tabaxi subspecies, as well as turtles. And there's one individual who looks vaguely human, but is quite beefy and large. Not particularly tall, but very, very buff. And the thing that draws your attention to him is the fact that his head seems to be on fire.
Good. Yep.
So he's
He has a-
fire.
Yeah, he has a relatively relatively expressionless face. So like his facial features are blunted or muted to some degree, but his
Okay.
entire head is like wreathed in a flame.
Cool.
Cool.
First question I ask as they get close by to the Loxodon, were any of yours wounded?
As soon as he's close enough for earshot, the Loxodon has just a huge, deep voice and is like, "Ho, travelers! My friends, my friends!" And
I hold up
as
my
soon as
holy
he
symbol.
hears,
Does anyone need healing?
No, we are quite all right. Shaken, but did you see the dragons?
We saw them. We managed to avoid them.
And you and yours are not injured, I hope.
No,
but,
I just look like this. Fine.
as we walk, as we kind of march just alongside them, I was like, I feel I should warn you. There's been some problems with bandits on this road. While I don't want to disrespect their culture, all the jewelry may welcome unwanted attention.
Yes, we have heard. That is why I have employed these guards. And he sort of particularly waves his hand at the what is clearly some kind of fire genasi.
Hey, your head is on fire.
He just kind of nods.
Okay, cool.
The fire nods with him. It's very interesting.
Nice.
I will point out at this point that Copernicus recognizes this Loxodon.
Oh.
So the shipment of your books that recently came to Mud Hollow was on a Phoenician ship, and the captain's son on the ship was this guy.
Okay.
So you didn't travel on the ship, but when you came to get your books, you saw them. So you don't know him personally, you just recognize him.
Do I know his name or his father's name?
The father's name. What was the father's name? I'm just quickly pulling it up. All you know, the father's name was that he was Captain Iza. which was like a last name, like a clan name of some sort.
Mhm.
So that's all you know. He would be potentially of the same name.
Okay. I'm gonna
Well,
hold that in my back pocket for now, but
I'll introduce our party at least. Pleasure to meet you. Forgot my name. My name is Tromlin, Ugna,
Oh, hi.
Fetid,
Hi.
Danielle. I'm so sorry for your character's name.
Glorpa.
Glorpa. Glorpa. This is my granddad, Copernicus Sunshine, and this is Otto. We are currently trying to see if we can take care of the problem of brigands. So if you have any
Good.
information,
Good. I am pleased to hear that the king has sent some mercenaries to deal with these problems.
not necessarily
Yes, the king. The king sent us.
just a concerned consortium of vendors has sent us.
He nods to Otto. You imagine there's some sort of recognition there. You're not sure if he knows him or his garb or what. And he says, "You may call me. I am Diomedes. Diomedes Eldop Iza. You may call me Di. My friends call me Di. My companions. This sorcerer who is just very helpfully chased some dragons away from my goods. And before he can say the name, the Genasi will incline his head and say, I am Igneus. You may call me Igneus Trueflame.
A real original name, guy.
It's longer than your actual name.
And or Diomedes, or whatever you choose to call him, will say, we should travel together, my friends. There is safety in greater numbers.
That is true. I do not disagree. To the rest of you, us the party, how do you feel?
Where are you going? Are you headed up to Stormfell?
We journey to Ravenfall. I have goods that are already claimed to deliver there to one of the noble ladies. But we will definitely stop in Stormhill.
Stormhill.
Yeah, that's
Well,
quite a
we can at
ways.
least go with you to Stormhill.
Stormhill. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta
I believe this
get to the
would be
bridge tonight.
wise.
Well, let's do that. I was thinking. I tell Diomedes we were thinking of camping once we pass the.
I think so. I believe your plan was to try and make it all the way to Stormhill and camp only if. Randy.
Oh no!
We lost
no.
Randy.
Our cameras
Rip.
are weird.
The dragon got him.
he's being eaten by a toddler.
No.
Almost
What if it was the doll?
Oh god.
Uh,
It's gone all the way to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He's back.
He's
He
back.
returns.
My phone said, "Fuck this, we're tired."
Fair.
All right.
Okay.
So I say we're planning on camping once we cross the bridge.
I was just saying that I believe your plan was to try and make it all the way to Stormhill if you can, and only camp if you get too exhausted. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay.
and they seem to be doing a march anyway. So
Yeah, they
They
seem
can
to
keep
be
up.
also kind of trying to be in a hurry, and the fact that they have a horse team pulling their cart means that they can actually keep up a fast pace pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the company of your new merchant friends, you head on towards the bridge at Stormhill. And I will say that the from the perception rolls you already made, Glorpa and Tromlin, this is where you start to kind of really notice, because you spotted the raven with the red eyes. That was unusual, but now you spot it again. There are other ravens, of course. You're moving into the north. There's a reason why Ravenfall is called Ravenfall.
Oh right.
There are other birds, but you occasionally spot the one with the red eyes again.
Hmm.
I'm going to mention
Like
this
it's
to
following you.
Mhm.
I'm going to mention this to Ignis, see if maybe he knows anything magically this could be.
You come up to Igneous and tell him about this raven. He says,
Yeah, we've noticed this one red-eyed raven that seems to be following. I wasn't sure if someone's familiar or someone's watch.
I am not from these lands. Are these birds often with red eyes, or is this
No, this is unusual.
unusual? Perhaps a familiar, transformed magical creature. As I am not from these lands, I am not familiar with your fey spirits. But it is possible it is one of those.
Well, ravens on their own are very intelligent corvids. They tend to feed off the dead. But yes, this is a little more unusual. And they are popular with a lot of spellcast for familiar.
Yeah, people think they look cool.
Am I able to hear any of this?
Yep. Yeah, this is an open conversation.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to hide this in the party.
Can I Arcana this and
Ooh.
possibly pull a nugget of wisdom from my library brain?
Yep.
Arcana. Oh, right, but I have disadvantage. 18 with disadvantage.
Oh, with the disadvantage.
Nice.
Nice.
Dang.
Yeah, without more information, it's hard to know much specific. You haven't heard specifically of like a fey folk that takes the form of a red-eyed raven or anything specifically like that. Obviously, there's lots of different creatures that can polymorph themselves. There are demonic creatures that can take the form of ravens. There are fey creatures that can take the form of ravens. So it's possible to be any of those kind of things. You would need a better look. Like you'd need to be able to see if there's a magic spell on this thing. You'd need to get a closer look at it to be able to tell whether it's actually a magicked raven or if it's just some kind of beast that has like an unusual feature, which also could be the case if someone was like spying on you. It's possible for rangers have animal companions. There's lots of different possibilities.
Very well. I just felt that they also deserve to know.
Yep.
I'm starting to feel like we might be being followed. We're coming up to a precarious bridge that would be a fairly convenient ambush site. I think maybe as we get close, it might be wise if I scout ahead, see if I see anything without being detected.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at that point yet, but
I'm gonna pull Fetid aside, actually, and I'm gonna summon my familiar.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay. So Tromlin takes you aside, sort of lets the caravan keep moving a little ahead, falls back, so you're sort of behind everybody and a little out of sight.
What's up?
And kind of opens his cloak a bit, and a small golden monkey clambers out.
That's cool.
And then the whole time.
I lift up my arm and like 6 spiders crawl out. And I'm like, oh. That's
There's
not
like a web
cool.
in the armpit.
Yours is cooler. That's better.
This is my friend Lord Kirsa.
Hi.
He's gonna go with you because I can see through my familiar's eyes. Correct?
Oh, nice.
Yes,
cool.
you can do that.
All right.
Although I'll point out that when you choose to do that, you can't see through your own eyes. So you want to kind of be a little careful what how you're walking when you do that. Real easy to like fall off a cliff.
We'll put you on the cart.
I was gonna say maybe you should swap spaces with me and get on Ugna's shoulder there.
Oh, Ugna.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll just bridal style carry him.
All right.
He's only carrying 2 people so far.
Fine, only. Come on.
If you want it.
All right, Kirsa, go with Fetid. Be good, and I will scramble up the back of Ugna and send them on their way.
Sounds good.
Immediately, it's Kirsa, right?
Lord Kirsa.
Yep.
He has like a little. He's one of the mustache monkeys.
Nice.
Cool.
But he will immediately like just start feasting on like so you've got Kirsa on your shoulder now, Fetid, and it's just like, oh my god.
Oh, this is great.
It's like there are so many bugs.
Have I
I'm
seen?
gonna try and I can communicate with animals, so I'm gonna don't eat any of the glowy ones. Those are technically spirit familiars, and you shouldn't be eating those. They don't appreciate it. But everything else is fair game.
He's an Emperor Tamarin monkey, so he has a long curled mustache.
Oh, good.
Probably, if there are any really brightly colored ones, don't eat those. Those are likely to be toxic. But
are you using speak with animals for that? So Kira says yeah. Like, I know my business. I know which ones are the good ones. Don't you worry about it.
Nice.
I got it, boss.
Sounds good.
And then someone else was asking something.
I was going to ask, A, are you being sneaky about summoning the monkey? And is this a monkey that Ugna has seen before?
It is not.
Has Ugna seen your monkey before?
Look, we got curious in college once.
Yeah.
we swore we'd never talk about it.
We don't talk about that anymore.
We're better friends.
The lost weekend.
Yeah. I really don't remember it.
I mean, honestly, you probably have, because
I would say so. I'll remind you guys of a thing. So you were saying that you have not mixed your familiar with.
That's right. It's from my alter ego. So no, you have not seen the monkey.
No, that's what I figured.
Sneakily.
What is your?
No, you have not seen the monkey. You have not seen the monkey with Tromlin.
No, I have seen it with this other guy.
But you have seen another definitely different satyr who has a monkey when you've been in Karsh and seen the carnival performers when you've gone there for big tournaments.
Cool. Okay.
So that's
that's good to know.
Like distant.
Is Fetid being sneaky rogue or ranger like and sneaking off with a monkey, or are you just parading around with a monkey on your shoulder?
Well, my natural instinct would just be to kind of take this in stride. Yeah, of course he has a monkey. Sure, why not?
Cool.
I mean, people are weird. Everybody's got something, right?
You got rats.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he's got a monkey in his shirt.
I'm just gonna go trotting on ahead.
She dissolved in a pond.
That's fine.
He doesn't sleep or eat. He is a monkey.
None of this has even registered on Ugna's weirdness scale.
Benign.
Yeah.
But now she's looking at the monkey
Actually, I would like you to make me an intelligence roll.
Oh God.
Good luck, honey.
Oh boy, just pure intelligence?
Yep.
I rolled a 10, so that's a 9.
That becomes a 9. So, I mean, a monkey is a monkey, right?
Yeah.
There is no reason for you to connect a monkey that you saw with circus performers in Karsh a year ago with a monkey that's hanging out on the vermin-infested kobold.
Sometimes
you're really
he's got
just going to be sometimes rats, sometimes pigeons, sometimes bugs, sometimes monkeys, I guess.
Why not?
So I look at him sideways a little bit, and then I just sort of go, oh.
I wave.
He's got a monkey now.
Yep.
Good.
Sure got a monkey.
Yep. Sometimes you got monkeys.
Okay, so you're gonna range ahead then. So as you guys, so the rest of this day has been pretty uneventful, especially now that you're with this group. You're gonna get to the chasm, the gorge with the bridge fairly soon. Unless you have something specific, any conversation you want to strike up with your companions on the previous leg of the trip.
Well, I'm probably zoning out more, watching what's ahead, but I will probably ask if they've seen anything strange on the road in the recent months. Just making polite conversation.
Diomedes is very garrulous, so he is happy to chat, and in fact will pretty much chat. He strikes up a conversation with Otto almost immediately about how business has been. What are some of the local commodities that have been immediately sort of looking for deals. What's selling these days? What's you say business has been bad, so you're clearly looking to unload some stuff, right? and this kind of stuff that you're not super interested in, but Diomedes is happy to jump into a conversation. So he'll say, all these sightings of the ice drakes in the north, I hear they have been more frequent of late. Some say that the great frostworm is being more active, but I have not heard of sightings like these so frequently. Have you heard much? You are from these local places?
We're from a little bit south, but the seeing a dragon fly about is a little new to us.
You are from the
Especially-
Northlands, yes?
Yeah, we are, aren't we? I'm just making sure I'm not
Yeah,
lying.
you're all from Mud Hollow or
Yeah.
nearby, so.
Yeah, I'm originally from Mud Hollow.
So you have not heard of new dragons attacking towns?
No, this is news. This is definitely news. And concerning news at that.
Yes, would be very bad for business if one of the northern cities was destroyed, Ravenfall or Karsh itself, should the frostworm come again to terrorize these lands.
Yeah.
I have many business adventures in the north.
Oh, is that so?
Mm.
Actually, I will say, pardon, real quick. Is it possible for me to pay you a small amount to let my friend Otto here ride in the cart with you?
Oh, it is quite all right.
All right. I'll help. Have someone help Otto up, just because I know this is hard on him and he's not used to this
Yep.
life.
Yep,
I'm
for sure.
trying to take care of him somehow.
Yep.
At least
problem.
one of us is.
Yeah, the rest of us are like, this guy, whatever. I've like fallen back
Look,
and I'm
I don't-
comparing swords with the Leonins. We're talking about
Nice.
swords.
Sword chat.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're all southern, so they all have very different gear. You've seen, like, you're not super well traveled, but you've you're in the circuit, right? So people from other cities, there's always like, ooh, this great pit fighter from the south. I think one of the ones on your list of ones was a Loxodon.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
The
The fighters from the Southlands are always real tough.
Yeah, who's from Alphalicia, the great Loxodon city, and so their gear is like much more unusual, not the sort of very boring European medieval style stuff that they use in the Northlands, but much more,
They got some cool swords.
it's like Roman and Middle Eastern looking stuff that's kind of cool. So a lot of most of these Leonids have like great scimitars and other kind of curved swords, and you're like, ooh, neat stuff.
Cool. There's like a
Yeah, you
moment
can,
when I
like,
take up
even-
one of theirs and I give it a couple swipes and then I like hand over my hammer and they like can't hold it. Takes two of them to lift it.
They're pretty beefy, but yeah, not on the same scale. I
Yeah.
think Leonins get bonuses to con and strength.
Yeah, mine is made
But,
for a large-sized creature, so
Yeah.
Mm,
You're basically are wielding what would be a warhammer for an ogre or a half giant or something else that's in large category.
Perny and Glorp I have to put up with a lot of talk about swords, makers, techniques.
Corpus fallen asleep on your
Good.
shoulder between the business talk and the sword
Oh,
talk.
yeah.
She's just
mhm.
drooling on your collarbone right now.
Yeah,
Like, you can tell if you're drooling, you're made of water.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Leaving some sort of stain.
something is dripping.
Yeah.
I
You
don't ask.
Saint Ugna.
I don't ask any questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say that these mercenaries probably haven't heard of you necessarily, but they've definitely heard of people you've heard of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you can quickly get into discussion of, oh, do you know so and so who fought, or have you ever been to this stadium? I hear it's amazing.
Hmm.
You quickly get into sort of conversations about pit fighting in the South.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise things
Can I ask a
go.
couple questions about it? So how far are we from the crossing now? And are we waiting to hear back from Fetid, or Fetid went and there was nothing to report?
I was about to jump ahead to, as you approach now, Fetid is scouting ahead.
Okay, because what I might want to, and the other question I have is with the short rests and like warlocks getting spells back. If I'm concentrating and maintaining a spell that I cast a while ago, I don't get that spell back even if it's been 15 minutes and the duration's longer than that time, right?
Yeah, correct. Like you have a spell that is, well, I don't know that there are many spells with a concentration of longer than an hour, for example.
Well, I mean, so I was thinking about casting invisibility ahead of time and then trying to recharge that spell slot, but maintaining the spell through concentration. But
Yeah.
I can't do that probably, right?
Yeah, because I doubt it has a long enough duration.
Well, the duration's
think
an
it's
hour. Yeah, duration's
Like,
up to an hour of concentration.
Yeah, a short rest is supposed to be about an hour, but like I'm pretty fast and loose with it, so yeah, I could see that.
So basically, what I want to do, if I can, is like time it so that I'm gonna let Tromlin know, like, I'll be nearby. Don't look for me, and then go invisible and just like hang out.
Operating it all from an elderly man.
Right.
Forget I exist like all of you young people do.
And
I won't be missed when I'm gone.
I was just hoping for a quick refresher for my notes on who signed my yearbook last session at the campfire.
100%, no
kind of.
hesitation.
I think
Yeah,
everybody
except Tromlin.
Tromlin and Otto.
In
Okay.
auto.
Yeah.
And Otto
denied.
did. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. No
Great.
reason.
Cool.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason why that would be
Good.
a big deal.
Good.
I'm excited.
I will say, you know what? I will allow it. You can cast the invisibility, maintain it for a while, and because it's restful, you get the spell slot back in exchange for a black token.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So I'll just give you that spell slot back.
So I'm gonna say yes only because it's interesting and not because I think it's a good idea.
Dun dun dun. Black token
It's always
counter.
a good idea. So
Famous last words.
always a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool. So don't even worry about it. I'll just say we'll hand wave the duration. It's plenty long enough for you to do this scene and to have your spell slots
I'm assuming
back.
you get me to put you down at some point and you like toddle off.
Yeah, and then, but at some point I'm gonna let everyone know, like, I'll be nearby. I'm just gonna look at I saw some ponds. I just want to see if they have any fish.
You gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, I was wondering when you'd have to do that.
That's fair.
He is old. It's gonna take a while.
You've heard old humans have to do that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, but I'm following along invisibly, and I think I'm gonna have my book out to the page for just in case I need to do anything involving Fetid. And
Cool.
otherwise I'm just watching and waiting, biding my time.
Good. Biding my time is always a good phrase from the Warlock.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay, so as you've gotten fairly near to the region where the gorge is, you've made decent time. It's like late afternoon. The sun's like on its way down, but nowhere near setting yet. So you're definitely going to be well past it by nightfall. Fetid can range ahead.
Yep.
And do some ranging, as rangers do. So what did you want to do exactly? Just check out the site?
Yeah, I just want to check it out. So I think that's probably just a perception check. See what's around. If anything looks amiss about this bridge. I don't know how familiar I would be with the area for starters.
Somewhat. You've been this far before. I would say that you're going to probably want to roll me some kind of stealth first, because I'm assuming you're going to try and get up there.
Yeah, I don't want to be seen if there's anybody there. All right, so stealth first. What is that? An 18 plus 8, 26.
That is excellent. I was going to ask if you wanted to pass without trace first, but that is not necessary.
No. I think I'll be fine. And then, I want to just do a perception check and look around, see what I see.
Sure, go for it.
Should I do one through my familiar?
Yeah, you can also roll perception.
I got an 18.
That's your total?
Oh, shit.
Nice.
24.
Nice.
Ooh, that is quite the perception.
Good job, monkey friend.
So you you check out the area. You see the bridge. It, like I said, it's basically just a giant slab of wood built between two trees that has just been dropped across the. Like, you imagine that they built it by bringing it up on one side, standing on an end, and then just letting it fall over, so it was across the gorge. It's got like earth heaped up at either end, so it's like got ramps so that wagons can just go straight over it. There's a signpost that I'm assuming. I actually don't remember if we decided. Glorpa can't read and write, but what about Fetid?
I
Fetid's
think we
okay.
decided that I could at least read. Yeah, I think I had like basic reading and writing.
So it says something along the lines of like there's a warning sign, basically telling people to take.
Don't
It's
fall
probably
off the
got
bridge
like
and die.
symbols. It's probably got symbols. It's basically one at a time. It's basically one wagon at a time. Is the warning. Just to make sure people don't try to like pack on too much weight on this and like break the bridge. Bridge has been there a fair long time. There's like stones have been pushed up around it so it doesn't shift or anything, and it's got moss growing on the stones, so and on the trees.
So I don't see anybody around or anything.
So what you will notice, actually, there's something. Let me establish some numbers that you're rolling against, just so I know what's going on here. Okay. So you notice, first of all, just by using sort of your ranger abilities, you're basically looking, okay, where would be, if I was setting up an ambush or a trap here, what would I do? And of course, the gorge itself, as I said, it narrows at the top, but that makes it very difficult to see things that are lurking down below. So if something had the ability to like fly or reach a fair ways, hiding in the gorge down below would be a great choice, a great way to set that up. But obviously that would require you to have like special powers. If it was just like, bandits or something, like, you can't leap from the bottom of like an 80-foot gorge and grab people, and you're not going to like want to hang on ropes or something and like just wait there for hours and hope someone comes by. Other than that, the land around, like all of the land along the road you've been, has been relatively cleared specifically to make it hard to ambush people on the road. But you will notice a few things flying around the sky. Again, there's been ravens and other birds and things this whole time. But both of you will specifically take note that there are some ravenfolk about. So larger than regular ravens, there are some like ravenfolk flying around, which are basically like smaller than human-sized, but bird people.
That's noticeable.
There's a pair of them, particularly flying fairly high up, but flying directly eastward. You would guess that they're actually flying out from Stormhill.
Okay.
But they're not
And
circling.
Tromlin, they seem to be going in a straight line, like they're going somewhere.
Okay.
But Tromlin, through your monkey, you will also notice the red-eyed raven is perched on a rock some ways away, watching the bridge.
Gotcha. I will relay this to the group, especially the sorcerer, like just so we know up ahead on the bridge, that red-eyed raven is watching.
Have you? I don't think that everyone had heard about the red-eyed raven yet. So some of you, that's the first you've heard of this.
The one, and I'll now clarify. Anyone who's confused, like we've been followed. We're being followed by a raven with red eyes, which means someone, either in animal form or through an animal, is watching.
Huh.
So Ignaeus will look, appropriate, concerned, although he always kind of looks concerned. He's just got that like impassive face.
And it's on fire.
and his head is on fire. He also wears like really obvious like sorcerer robes. Like he wears like that whole sort of Dumbledore or Gandalf thing where you wear like multiple layers that are all kind of robe-like. So you just look like you're a walking thrift shop. And like the scarf, and even though it's not that cold, there will be like multiple like scarves and
I don't
other
think he ever gets too hot.
warming.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should expect an ahead. Something's going on.
All right.
I'm going
I would
to
be ready.
do something that I'm gonna message you about, Lane.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Great.
As soon as
I'm
you
always
say
ready when
ambush,
that happens.
Ugna like goes, "Oh, excuse me," to Glorpa and like takes the hammer out from you've been kind of half sitting on.
I lick it
Holding
as
that
it's
ready.
pulled out
Oh God.
for luck.
I look confused at first, and
This
then
is
I
the
like hold it
weirdest
back to
sexual
you.
tension.
You can like lick it.
Uh,
Good. Then I shrug.
Mm-hmm.
Fetid,
Mhm.
you're away from all this. You're not with the group. You're out
Yep.
hiding on the hillside, watching the gorge
Mhm.
with a monkey. And in addition to watching the gorge and having a monkey, you also hear Copernicus's voice in your head. You think it's Copernicus.
That's weird. Okay.
It kind of sounds like imagine Copernicus's voice coming through like a whisper filter that someone is using to make like demonic sounds in a movie.
Cool.
It's basically like that. So you hear this voice that says, "The ravens have been watching us. We are being followed. This is the monkey speaking."
I look at the monkey like, okay.
It just kind of looks at you and takes another bug out of your hair, out of your
Noted.
fur. Me too.
All right. In that case, I want to just stay where I am then, and I will remain hidden as the rest of the party catches up with me, and I guess we'll see what happens.
I can send a message to my monkey, correct?
In what sense? Like you can
Like I can-
communicate with the monkey, yes.
I'm going to tell him, hey, could you go just test the bridge, make sure it hasn't been messed with at all?
I was thinking about that. The question is whether I want to remain hidden or do that. I'm not sure I can do both.
You can. I would maybe get you to make another stealth check just to see how unseen you are.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll the dice on that. Literally.
So as you're sitting there, the monkey's gonna like jump off and start heading over towards the bridge, and you decide to do the same. So
yeah.
Go ahead and make me a stealth roll.
What was that?
Does the monkey use my stealth as well, or?
I'll just say if Fetid is also going over there, I'll just use Fetid's roll. Like the monkey will jump back on his shoulder and just take the ride.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
19.
19. Okay. Oops. Let's roll that in such a way that I can actually see it. Okay. So you sneak your way, sort of like moving through the brush and tall grasses. Like I said, the land's been cleared. But because you're a small creature, you can kind of stay somewhat hidden. Still not easy to do. You don't have a ton of cover, but you slip towards the bridge to get a closer look. Now, I would like you, and I'm just going to double check. You have a feat for this, because you are you're an ambusher kobold, but also you have the dungeon delver feat.
Yes.
So I would like you to roll a perception with advantage.
Nice.
To check for traps on this bridge or other sorts of sabotage.
Wasn't very good. Oh, the second one was even worse. So that is a 14.
I will remind you, and I will remind the stream as well, that you guys have a pool of inspirations, so you can make a reroll and you gain inspirations back at a not like a high rate, but you do gain
I'm
them
gonna
back.
spend one now. It seems like an important enough roll.
Currently have 3, so.
Do that properly.
Inspiration on a advantage roll gets to re-roll the advantage, just to keep that in
Alright.
mind. So you get to re-roll with advantage here.
That's much better. 20.
That's better.
Yeah.
Let's see how hard it is to detect. Okay, so you're checking the bridge. You don't see it's actually not too hard to see signs of tampering with this bridge because the bridge is fairly old, right? It's all blackened timber. These trees that were cut down were basically like fire treated to make sure they don't rot easily. And everything has like some moss growing here and stuff. So you can tell fairly easily. It would be really easy to see if someone was like scraping or messing around with it. There'd be places where the blackening and the moss was messed with. And you don't really see anything like that. There doesn't appear to be anything particularly unusual, but you do notice a couple of non-trap things. One of the things that you notice is that there has been very recent activity here. You notice that there are tracks basically moving in the dirt on and over the bridge. And the tracks are the tracks of ravenfolk. So they're very clearly the bird imprints of with the little like 2 foot space, the little hops that that the ravenfolk frequently. And there's one of them now.
Right here.
No, no, ravenfolk are much smarter.
Yes.
Oh.
I love this bird, but
I
she is
mean-
not very smart. She often
And
steps in
then
her own poop.
And then the second thing that you notice is that down in the gorge, it is really dark, like a lot darker than it probably should be.
Like magical dark?
There is no way for Fetid to detect magical dark, but it's like really dark down.
Actually,
Ooh.
Hmm.
Do you have like a detect magic typey thing that I am
Like
forgetting
Pernie's
about?
cape dark.
I thought I had taken it, but that may have been in an earlier draft of the character.
Yeah, I actually don't think detect
Yeah.
magic is available for Ranger.
Yeah, I do not have that.
No.
I do have dark vision up to 60 feet, though.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why it's
Yeah,
kind
so
of
that's
that it's so
weird.
dark down there.
Yeah, okay.
That makes it magical, probably.
Yeah.
All right, well,
But there is no sign of trap or any kind of tampering with the bridge.
Yeah.
Question: Hey, can I cast a spell through my familiar?
I believe so. I can't remember if it's
familiars, yeah.
specific ranges. I believe that's one of the points of the Find Familiar spell. So just quickly pulling up the spell description.
At the very least, I want to relay all of this information back to the party via the monkey.
So it can be a spell with a range of touch can be delivered by your familiar.
And it's not touch spell.
Oh, and it has to be within 100 feet of you to do.
Never mind.
What spell were you thinking?
Detect magic.
Is detect magic self only?
It is a first level casting time, self 30 feet.
Yeah, so it's self only. I would allow you to, in exchange for a black token, I would allow you to cast this spell.
Damn.
Actually, I don't even think I'm going to charge you a black token. I think if you spend one of your inspirations, you can actually not the inspiration one, your hero point.
Hero point?
If you spend your hero point, I will allow you to cast this spell through your familiar on Fetid.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So you're spending the hero point to do something sort of beyond the normal capacity of your Find Familiar spell. You're basically going to treat Detect Magic as though it has a range of touch and cast on someone else instead of just self. So that's not a huge buy, which is why I'm just going to take a hero point for it.
And I can just see the entire cosmos now.
So the monkey like
Sudden
just takes a finger, Suddenly, the monkey has a glowing finger and it touches you on the side of the head.
My pupils just completely dilate to the size of dinner plates. Like a fucking trash-covered galaxy brain meme.
And suddenly you can see all of the magic nearby, which includes 3 sources of magic. One of those
Okay.
sources of magic is one of the flying over ravenfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Has either a spell active on it or some kind of magic item, or is itself like a polymorphed other creature or something magical. But for whatever reason, one of those 2 ravenfolk up there is actually no, sorry, both of them would. Both of them read as magic to you.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing that it reads as magic to you is the shadows at the bottom of the gorge. So that's a confirmed. That's definitely a darkness spell. And third, one of the rocks alongside the bridge, on this side of the bridge, glows magic to you. As you go, oh, there's a magic rock over there.
That's weird.
I wonder why that rock is magic.
There's probably not. It's probably not like a good kind of surprise rock. It's probably a bad kind of surprise rock.
Are
So,
you
yeah,
relaying all this?
Yeah, I'm gonna relay all of this to the monkey.
I relay it to the party.
Mhm.
Loxodon and to Igneous. Heads up, under the bridge is magical darkness. So someone has cast a spell. There is a rock that is emanating magic. There are 2 ravenfolk flying above that are also emanating magic.
There are many ravenfolk in these parts. Are they circling over the bridge or something? Are they
flying
coming
in a
our
straight-
way?
They're coming our way.
Maybe we should talk to them.
They're flying pretty east, so you imagine that they probably would just, unless they're going to stop or circle around, they're going to be like heading. They'll be gone by the time you guys get to the bridge.
They won't be there by the time we're there, so it's not. They may just happen to be there.
Yeah, it
But
seems
I'm
like
more
they're
worried
in transit.
I'm more worried about the rock and the cast of darkness under the bridge.
What can you? This Igneous is going to speak up. What can you tell me about this rock?
Just it detected. Well, I'll have my monkey look at the rock and I'll do a perception check, I guess.
Yep.
Let's see, I'm watching the rock through my monkey.
Sentences that one does not use outside of Dungeons and Dragons.
You don't know what the fuck I do. 25.
Okay.
You will notice that there is a tiny rune carved on that rock that is facing the road.
I will pull out a piece of paper and attempt to redraw the rune.
And as you are doing so, there is a horrendous rushing noise that both Fetid and Tromlin through the monkey can hear, and the shadows under the bridge rise out of the gorge in a bubbling rush of shadowy fingers.
That seems bad.
And that's a great place to take our break.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Cool. Well, we will find out if we survive after the break.
So we'll
the shortest ever cast of a game.
Yep.
We'll take 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes. Back at 10 after 5 Pacific time.
And we will,
and
we'll be right back.
All right. See y'all.
What's going to happen?